Well, hello, my friend. Welcome in once again. It's day 39 of our 40-day walk through Abraham's life of faith. Wow, what a journey it's been. And we're nearing the finish line. You know, we've been on the hunt for clues about how Abraham managed to be one of God's messed up friends. And, maybe some clues about how we can enjoy that kind of friendship with God too. It's been a rich and rewarding journey. We're nearing our end, but we have a few more steps to walk, including today, where, believe it or not, we actually spend our final moments with Abraham as we read and react to Genesis 25, 1 through 18. I've got my reading guide open here. We'll have more to say day 40, little epilogue, and maybe a bonus day or two. But today is the day where this epilogue of Abraham's life unfolds. Buckle up. It's going to be a little bumpy. Read is the first step, though. All right, you got to read it for yourself so we can talk about it. So grab your reading guide like I've done here, and then get into it. And then after you do, I'll show you my green, yellow, reds, my highlights, and you can drop yours in as well. So without further ado, if you haven't already, go ahead, hit pause and read right now. Okay, how we doing? This episode's got a little bit of everything, doesn't it? I mean, we got names and places that are unfamiliar. We've got all the final moments of Abraham's life, his passing, and the aftermath of it all. Plenty of opportunities for your own green, yellows, and reds. Green means you love it. It inspires you. Not just that you like it in the story, but it inspires you in some way in your own life of faith, your own thinking. Yellow means you're puzzled by it, and red means I hate that this is here. This bothers me. And how about we start with the red? Because I think that's where this episode starts us off. If I grab my highlighter here, I'm highlighting red up at the very top. Okay, but I'm realizing now, before I do that, let's map out where the episode takes us today so you don't get lost, okay? So what we're dealing with here, we got a couple of things. We've got the wrap up here, this section right here. This wraps up Abraham's story arc in the Bible. It's the final events of his life. And then you have that's one section. Then over here, you've got Abraham's passing and his burial. And then that goes into that section right there. And then we have this final section right here. And this is all about Ishmael. All right, it's Ishmael and his life story. And because it takes us all the way from after Abraham's death to the end of Ishmael's life as well. Okay, so we kind of got three parts to it. So so don't let yourself get too disoriented. This episode fast forwards a little bit and shows us the future, the aftermath of Abraham's life. Okay, so with that being said, I gotta grab the red highlighter, and it's this moment right up here at the top. Wait, what? You go, what now? Say what now? Abraham marries another wife. Okay, so, we've got Sarah. That's his wife. Even though he tried to pass her off as his sister from time to time, it's been a whole thing. She's since passed away, as you recall. And it's been a number of years since she passed away. And then you have Hagar, who from a cultural standpoint was considered his wife, although she was a slave, a servant in the household. So she didn't have the legal standing, and Abraham sent her away. We read all about that. And then we have a third wife, and her name here is Keturah. And that, that's all I got to say. Come on, man. Come on, Abraham. Uh, this is just another reminder that Abraham is truly God's messed up friend. The Bible, once again, we got to say, never cosigns on the polygamy situation. It always ends up when you get as in disaster and pain and bad idea. All right, that's all I got to say. And this one is we're going to show you. I got a map to show you exactly what we're talking about here. Because Keturah. Now, for when did this marriage happen? Here's the other complicating factor. Okay, you ready for this? We don't know. Now, the way it's outlined here in Genesis, Abraham's story, it seems like it's possible, maybe plausible. We would like to think that Sarah had passed away, and then, in the absence of Sarah and Hagar, Abraham gets lonely and marries later in life. Okay. However, Abraham was old, very old, when Sarah passed away, and he would have been old in life if he's fathering these children through Keturah. Not impossible, but also not likely. So there's a world we don't know. It's ambiguous here, but there's a world where Keturah was not a late in life, third marriage situation. We don't know, but it complicates matters not only for Abraham's story, but also for the story of his descendants. Because man, she is a fruitful mother, and so through Abraham, we have one, two, three, four, five, six sons. And you may go, who are these people? The Genesis story is careful to kind of tell us a little bit of where all these sons of Abraham end up fathering, their own people, and where they end up. Some of these are names and places that are absolutely recognizable in the Bible. There's Sheba, there's Dedan, Midian is another one. These end up becoming major people groups of their own. And not only that, but what Genesis is doing here, one of the things in Abraham's life, it's been kind of bubbling beneath the surface. Genesis has been describing the origin story of all of the Israelites' troublesome neighbors. Okay, the people who are a thorn in the side of Abraham and Sarah's descendants down through the centuries and up into and including the present time. Let me show you in the reading guide today. Let me show you what I mean. I include a couple maps for you. And right here, this map kind of details. So the sons of Keturah, all right, they're right here. I kind of gave you a region here. That's where they all end up settling. The sons of Ishmael, which we read about today, his descendants, all end up settling in the green area here, which is, so this is like the Red Sea right here, this area, Red Sea. This is the Mediterranean Sea up here. This is Egypt down here, Nile River. Okay, you follow? This is, and up here, this is, here in purple, is the Holy Land. Okay, then you have the Ammonites and the Moabites, fathered by Lot, and we're going to leave it at there, okay? So what you're getting here is all of these people who are a thorn in the side of the Israelites from the time of the Exodus on up through, in many ways, the present day, they all find their origin story as one of Abraham's descendants as well. Wild, right? It's wild. In fact, one more map here. You can look at it in the reading guide in detail. I actually go ahead and color code for you the people groups that history, archaeology has been able to help us track. Everybody in orange here are the sons of Keturah, and then the sons of Ishmael all in blue. And so you can see they kind of, Ishmael's people are over here. It kind of makes you wonder, right? What if Abraham would not have done all of that? Okay, what if he would have stuck to the plan and just had, instead of many sons, he just had one son? You know what I'm saying? Oh, Abraham really is God's messed up friend. I think we'll talk more about that in today's Insights video, but let me show you what I love, okay? I do have a couple of green moments for today. One of them is, despite Abraham's many missteps and foibles and flubs and ick moments, he does manage to stay locked in with God on the big decisions of life, and he remains faithful to God's promise, and God's request, his command that Isaac be set apart as his heir, the son that gets inherits the promises, his estate, and eventually the land of Canaan. And so that's what we see right here. Before Abraham dies, it says he has the sons of his concubines, he gave them gifts, and then he sent them off to a land in the east away from Isaac. So Isaac remains special. This is the child of the promise. And you know what? Yeah, especially considering how complicated Abraham's life was and continued to become, I credit him for that. And it tells me, I mean, here's where I feel the encouragement. You can make a lot of really poor choices in life, not recommended, but it's possible to make really poor choices and still be part of what God is doing if you stay faithful to make the big decisions of your life, align as best as you can to what God is up to. Not ideal, but it's possible. And Abraham, as God's messed up friend, is doing that here. And I like this too. Final line here is we say farewell to Abraham, who even here to the very end is giving us lots to talk about and think about. You know, he lived for 175 years, died at a ripe old age, having lived a long and satisfying life. This word satisfying here is really special. What a great word. Satisfied means it's just enough. You don't want more, you don't want less, you're full and you're good. And here's what to me is amazing about Abraham. We wrap things up today. Abraham's a person who lives a life of faith, messed up as he is at times, many times. But he is able to breathe his last, go to the end of his days, being content without being perfect. Content without being perfect. I think there's something really significant about that, honestly. Does Abraham know he's made a lot of missteps and mistakes? Of course. He knows the Hagar, the Ishmael. He knows that the Keturah situation, all this, he knows. That's not the best path that he could have possibly walked. And yet he comes to the end of his life and he's content. He's like, you know what? God has walked with me. I've walked with him. It hasn't been perfect, but it's been good. I love that. And that's going to linger with me for Abraham. And this really puts Abraham, I think, one of the reasons why God puts him in the friend category. He kept up a life with God through all the imperfections and mistakes. And he was able to say at the end of it all, God's been good to me. He accepted it. He loved it. He didn't need perfection. He didn't need answers at every stage. He even accepted his own perfections, maybe perhaps even too at fault. And yet, at the end of his life, he passes on feeling satisfied. Those are my greens and reds for today. What about yours? Drop them here in your reading guide for your own benefit, and then share them in our Facebook group as well. Would love to see your thoughts on Abraham today. And then we will circle back for some further insights in our insights video for today. More about Abraham's imperfections and how God is able to shape them into a friendship. So I'll see you in a little bit.